basically he's saying in translation, like, look, this game, that game was throwing, like, you know what I'm saying? When you got a doggy, when you got a bone, when you see a doggy throw a bone type, it was more like, you know what? We're going to give you this game to make sure y'all, we're going to give you this game and let y'all feel some type of belief that y'all won. I mean, to a bunch of winners and legendary Hall of Famers and future Hall of Famers to be in this time, I mean, you think they're going to want to get their butt whooped? You know what I'm saying? It's only going to take one time and they're going to...
The place to do that was Portland, Oregon, and the Tournament of the Americas.
Dang, first of all, they give us hassle to even get in the Olympics because the league wasn't, the NBA, the league wasn't being able to play in the Olympics. Now we got to play to qualify. They like, dang, they taking all procedures necessary.
It would be the public's first chance to see the NBA stars together in a game, especially Jordan, Bird, and Magic. Daly had asked all three to be team captains, but Jordan had turned him down.
I knew how much it meant to both of those guys because they never had the opportunity to play on the Olympics. So I said, you know what, Chuck, don't worry about me. You know, let these old dogs do it.
Magic and Bird weren't just the team's oldest players. They were also the most revered. They had entered the league together in 1979, embarking on a rivalry that had redefined the NBA. And along the way, their personal admiration for one another had grown.
Magic's just a great basketball player. He's the best I've ever seen, you know. Unbelievable. I don't know what to say.
In 1992, they'd be getting the chance to share the ball. But the opportunity would be coming at the end of their careers. Bird had given his soul to the game. But after so many years, his body was betraying him.
Yeah, man, well, his
back
back.
problems. It just get to the point where you just couldn't play. I mean, you couldn't think, couldn't move, couldn't run. You know, if you can't feel your feet, it's hard to run.
Larry was on the fence because of his back, so I said, man, LB, you gotta play, man. You gotta play. This is our last chance to be together.
Magic would be able to convince his old friend to play. But at the start of the 1991-92 NBA season, he was forced to retire after learning he had the HIV virus. Doctors would eventually clear him to play in the Olympics, though that didn't stop fears from swirling.
There's a lot of players that really didn't want him to play, didn't want to play with him or against him, because nobody knew what disease meant. You know, they say you get a little blood on you, you got HIV, or you breathe on you, you know. I never bought any of that, you know. You just keep going. And that's what Irving decided to do, just keep pushing, keep going.
6, 5, three-pointer, yes, oh my!
Well, hey, man, y'all want to act scared because I understand y'all want to be cautious for yourselves. But at the end of the day, if you already took precautionary measures along with health officials then, or medical officials, then what's the issue? If you don't want to be near the guy, man, he going to make an open shot. So leave him open then. How about that? Don't defend him since you're so scared.
Magic had made a cameo in the 1992 All-Star Game and had focused his attention on the Olympics, hoping for an encore of a lifetime alongside his old rival.
Our careers were really over, and it was something I thought needed to happen for both of us.
Their debut would take place at Portland's Rose Garden, with their team needing to medal in the Tournament of the Americas to qualify for the Olympics. That seemed like a foregone conclusion to just about everyone, including their first opponents, who were completely in awe before the game even started.
I could imagine they'd be in awe before the game started, looking like all these great players that be televised in the USA about to play against. I'm about to play against, and they about to play against me. Like, whoa.
Cuban team spontaneously drops to its knees as if 12 popes had come by on Easter Sunday.
Yeah.
At that point, the idea that this is merely a basketball game has been ripped asunder.
It was a surreal feeling. She's like, dude, we're here to kick y'all behind. And they want to take pictures with you.
Then the game begins. Magic and Larry come out together, two guys that had saved the league. They wouldn't even be playing this game without those two. And Magic passed the ball. Larry makes the first basket.
Banking in, goes to the
Bug
fadeaway.
it.
I mean, you know, it just didn't get any better than that.
The U.S. was off and running, and the result was a thing of beauty.
Johnson leading the break, finds Robinson.
And no one seemed more excited to be sharing the court than the co-captains.
I believe Magic started the fancy passing. Flashy pass.
Bird for three.
Opening night was a smashing success, with the outcome never in doubt.
Oh, a bullet from Magic to Portland.
And late in the game, fans in Portland decided they wanted a curtain call from a three-time MVP.
The crowd start cheering, Larry, Larry, Larry.
That's legendary, bro.
Crowd reacts to the entrance of Larry Bird. A standing ovation.
And as he'd done so many other times in his career, Larry Bird rose to the occasion.
Jordan with the behind-the-back save. Here's Bird. Yes.
You just knew that Larry Bird was not going to miss that shot.
It was a virtually flawless
My man Larry just be chilling and chewing his gum in his own world, just shooting up shots like nothing.
performance. The final margin of victory was 77 points. And Magic and Bird had led the way. For Magic in particular, after a year out of the game, the victory had a special kind of meaning.
Living with HIV, never even thinking that I would ever have a chance to play basketball again, and then basketball for United States. It was therapy for me, and I needed that in the worst way.
And then there was the matter of making sure Michael Jordan knew he was back as well.
Yeah, you hear what the captain said? The captain say, sit down, or this boat is gonna sink.
That's right, have a seat, because you're gonna fall, and then that's gonna happen.
That's a seniority right there.
I know it.
With Magic and Michael, there was that little extra something there, you know, and something kind of to prove to each other.
I took it upon myself to always shoot with Michael. Okay, MJ, free throws today. Who was the first one to 50? Or we had little games, who was the better shooter?
Well, so they just challenge each other and have a little fun with it. And I mean, gotta have fun with it. Or it's gonna be boring, you know what I'm saying? Who wanna sit there and play a little game of basketball and be quiet and be mute? You know what I'm saying?
He didn't want to relinquish.
He learned in front of OJ. Run it back a little bit.
He didn't want to relinquish that control of the 80s, in a sense, even though we were going into the 90s.
Don't touch the phone. One hand, don't touch it.
Dang, Mike. Can't make it.
You know, he just come off missing a whole year. So it was who can win, who's gonna have the bragging rights by the end of this trip.
You can't get too close to Michael, it's a foul. You haven't committed a foul in almost a year and a half, man. How can you talk?
Michael's always tried to let people know that he's the top dog in whatever. That's just his competitive mode.
I'm the young guy with the elder statesman. These old guys, they got arthritis. They can't stand in one spot too long.
He's a young puppy. I'm the big dog here. Whatever I say.
Yeah, you're the young puppy. I'm the big dog. All right, big chief. I hear you giving orders, direction, letting them know how the game of basketball is played, bro.
Goes.
While the winner of Magic and Michael's Can You Top This challenge remained in doubt, when it came to facing the competition in the Tournament of the Americas, the team stood united.
When we took the court in Portland, which, you know, we're on home ground, we wanted to showcase to the fans who would be representing them.
The lead is 30. Steal. Jordan.
I'm gonna send a message around the world today that y'all can give it up. You foreigners can give it up.
Mullen with the steal. Stockton has Mullis, goes the other way, takes it. Stockton set him up perfectly.
They want the fans to believe in them just as they believe in themselves, you know what I'm saying? To know that they representing the USA, you feel me?
Americans won their 6 games at the tournament by an average of 50 points.
All right, Larry, your impressions of tonight's game?
The gold medal was no surprise. But what was unexpected was the team's interactions with their opponents, who showered them with adulation before, after, and even during games.
Magic Johnson and Oranga shaking hands after the shot.
The Tournament of the Americas had served its purpose. The U.S. had qualified for the Barcelona Games.
They qualified for the Barcelona Games. I know that I know it was a good move business-wise, from a business perspective, for the Team USA to join the Olympics. You know how much probably more exposure they brought to the Olympics? You know what I'm saying?
And given the world its first glimpse of what was coming later that summer.
I just want to say this is just a small step to what our goal really is, to get to Barcelona, win the gold medal, and bring it back where it's supposed to be. Thank you.
On July 18th, 1992, with the Barcelona Olympics a week away, the U.S. men's basketball team headed overseas.
Straight back into the left, private room, follow Irving.
They would hold several days of practice in Monte Carlo and play one more tune-up before heading to the Olympics. The luxurious setting on the Mediterranean Sea was fitting for what already may have been the world's most famous team.
Monte Carlo is one of those
Magic look young, man. You still look young, man. Looking fresh.
glamorous cities. And here we were with the most glamorous team ever. So it's kind of a rock star-ish kind of a thing.
The players were relaxed and confident, and willing to admit there was more to the trip than just basketball.
I don't worry about playing basketball. That comes natural. I just want to have fun. David Robinson, Patrick Ewing, Michael Jordan. This is like spring break in the ghetto.
Spring break in the ghetto. Charles, man. You don't know what's going to come out of Charles Barkley mouth, boy. Spring break in the ghetto. Spring break in the ghetto, they be wild. I mean, I guess you could say it's fun, but they be going wild. Out of pocket stuff you ain't know you ain't supposed to be getting into. With the boredom catch up to you in the freedom. I want to say, let's say boredom and freedom, which leads you to do some wild things that necessarily ain't the best for you. But, you know, just having fun and using whatever resources you can to have fun around you. You know what I'm saying? You know that as a kid, you know, when you home or outside, you know, in front of your home, and you just making fun out of whatever you can, playing with sticks, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But spring break in the ghetto. I mean, spring break in the ghetto, I could tell you from experience. Kids feel more free because they ain't got to go to school, so they just be excited to get outside every morning.
Resort Town was a playground waiting to be explored. And the players weren't shy about enjoying themselves.
Are y'all filming me? Now look.
The scene in Monte Carlo was great. It was just breathtaking. I was down on the beach, just kind of trying to enjoy some of the scenery. Look at this. It's paradise.
I think every team in the NBA should train here, actually. They need to get a team here.
Every day we got back to practice, we made a beeline to the swimming pool because all those girls were laying out topless.
I'm gonna be in that pool so much in the next 2 days. I don't think I'm on the swimming team in Barcelona.
We're all out there with our significant others, and all these women walking around topless coming, can I have an autograph? So I signed it, and Michael pops me and tells me, see, usually you tell everybody no, but because this lady coming over topless, you're gonna sign her autograph. My wife looking at me like,
Michael Jordan called them out on it. He called them out on his stuff. No, you gonna stand on usually not signing, so don't sign now. Don't act brand new.
The best part about it was Patrick Ewing buying the beer at the pool. You know, $7 a beer, I never heard of that. Of course, Patrick didn't drink, he didn't know how much beer was.
One thing you don't want to do is drink beer with Larry Bird. And Larry Bird drinks Budweiser, which Budweiser is the strongest beer in the world.
And
Chuck devised the defense that made Jordan go out of his mind. So the challenge made them competitive enemies, you know, from a competitive playing field. And now they're sitting here intermingling, you know, connecting off of golf. That's cool, man. I mean,
here they are playing golf together.
Jordan could really have unbelievably bad feelings towards Chuck. Chuck understood that, and he embraced them.
Chuck, yeah. How many I gotta give you today? Huh? How many I gotta give you?
You shoot 72. I watched that. That was a bonding thing for me and Chuck. Always been a thing that I treasure just as much as being a part of the team.
For Jordan, golf was only one part of the whirlwind schedule, which his teammates were discovering was just the way he liked it.
What are you doing today, Amjad? What you gonna do? You want to sleep? I remember thinking that. Does this guy ever sleep?
Golf, 36 holes. I'm playing it tomorrow, too.
He would do more things and be ready to practice and play as much as anybody.
Michael Jordan.
The thing that I remember the most was going out and playing golf with Michael Jordan before a game. And I thought, and I'm going to be exhausted tonight. And Michael just had ridiculous energy and was phenomenal.
well, he's younger, so he's going to have that more energy than your older guys, you know what I'm saying, that have been in the league, you know.
Felt like I was running in quicksand a little bit. And so, you know, it gave me a whole nother level of respect for kind of the freak of nature that he really is.
Grab and play the food, Jim. We played cards in Magic Room till 5 o'clock in the morning pretty much every night. It was so much fun.
Right, homie? Yeah, I'm tired.
He's like a bionic guy, or he'd play cards, play golf, play basketball.
Jordan going all the way.
I don't know when he ever slept. Finally, after a ball game, he was just lying down. And I looked at him, I said, I think that's the first time he's gone to sleep on the whole trip.
It'll catch up with you eventually, man.
After a few days in Monte Carlo, the players returned to the court for an exhibition against the French national team.
You know, everybody had their eyes on one team. We could feel it. It was just such talent, such incredible skill, and it was just such a pleasure to watch.
The Americans won the game easily, even if their performance was far short of seamless.
It wasn't a great game. A lot of sloppy passing. I didn't like any of it.
It was a terrible game, and U.S. looked half interested. And so Chuck kind of the next morning in Monte Carlo, even though everybody was a little hungover and tired, had to really kick their butt.
Chuck know when to come in the right time when it's beneficial for the best interest of his team to make sure they stay sharp. Iron sharpens iron, right? It's like Mike and Magic narrating the competitiveness of the game, you know, to keep them pushing and motivated, but, you know, pull.
Going, it's his.
Eventually, everyone times come to it and you enjoy it while it's happening. You know, Magic is still impactful because they the pioneers of the game, like Magic and Larry Bird.
We both hit each other like, well, he's not lying.
Monte Carlo was kind of a turning point. Walls started to come down from, you know, when you're playing against each other, you have these rivalries. These are my teammates now. They're guys that, you know, that I'm looking towards for support. It seemed like we became more friends than anything else.
The players were off to Barcelona, headed to the Olympics, unmistakably as a team. The United States
Barcelona, here we go, man.
men's basketball team landed in Barcelona for the Olympics on July 24, 1992. In store was an experience unlike anything they or the sports world had ever seen.
The plane landing in Barcelona, helicopters flying over it.
We're thinking, wow, what is all the commotion? What happened? And then we figured out they were there for us.
That was the first time that we realized how popular and how enormous this thing was. I was like, guys, if we lose, it's gonna be like the biggest upset in sports history.
Barkley was right. There was no margin for error, a reality the rest of the team openly accepted in their first press conference in Spain.
I know I'm really afraid to fail because I can't go back home if we don't win the gold. Even though I'm from a little small place in Summerfield, those
Bro, that's headphones on they got on.
150 people there said, I can't come back.
Barkley, meanwhile,
They look like earplugs. But anyway, okay, they get the reality of how popular things have become now. Let's see what Barkley.
endless barrage of questions as only he could.
How did you feel in 1972 when the Soviet Union beat the United States in that wild game?
Well, I had just flunked my entrance exam in the kindergarten, so that was the only thing.
You know, everybody that has ever been in front of a camera, we tend to not say certain things.
Why don't they just take their ass whooping like people and go home?
Barkley says things that we would think about and never say.
We're gonna have a little revenge in our hearts.
You see, because Barkley gonna get you straightforward, man. You got no filter.
The 2 and 88, David, he can't say that because he's a Christian, but
He said, man, you don't talk honestly enough to the media. You need to tell them what you're really thinking. I said, Charles, you talk too much to the media. You need to stop telling them everything you're thinking.
And when Charles was asked about the team's first opponent, his prediction was as honest as ever.
I don't know anything about Angola, but Angola's in trouble, I think.
He said, I don't know nothing about Angola, but I know they in trouble, so they better look, pay attention, because we on y'all radar and we gonna look. Y'all on our radar and we on yours, but y'all better pay attention, because we here to win the game.
Just moments ago, the Dream Team boarded the bus outside their hotel along the Ramblas. They're heading for their first matchup in Barcelona with the Angolans.
I can remember the first game, the real game, when we came out of the locker room and stepped on the court. And I finally said to myself, I can't believe this, I'm here.
At that point, we were in serious Olympic mode.
This actually may be the biggest mismatch of the entire...
That is a mismatch, boy. I think his name McCullen. That was a mismatch out of this world. Look.
For their first matchup in Barcelona with the Angolans.
I can remember the first game, the real game, when we came out of the locker room and stepped on the court. And I finally said to myself, I can't believe this, I'm here.
At that point, we were in serious Olympic mode.
This actually
Look at this little man. It's a whole mismatch, man.
be the
Take
biggest
him.
mismatch of the entire Olympics. Barkley off a beautiful feed from Mullen, and he drew the foul.
That's too easy. Too easy.
U.S. with a 46-1 run. 46-1.
It was just a tremendous atmosphere because there was an appreciation for how great the U.S. players were.
After the first half,
64-16. Just end the game now.
his pregame prediction appeared dead on. But in the second, Charles found some trouble.
I had the players in Angola who play against Charles Barkley. They told us there's no a kid, a fat boy, is many aggressive in the paint.
Rebound Barkley. Rebound Barkley. And he's fouled and shoves David Diaz. Well, Charles getting a bit aggressive.
I thought they were playing dirty. And I told old boy, I don't even know if he understood. I said, hey, man, ease up on the elbow.
Barkley from Pippen.
I let it go twice.
You can see the frustration with Barkley.
And the next time I just cracked it.
Oh, man. Come on, Charles. Control your anger. Control your temperament. Relax.
And a technical foul has been called on Barkley.
To his dying day, Charles claims the guy elbowed him 3 times. I said, Charles, you know, you're full of crap.
No, it's not true. I didn't elbow Barkley before the incident.
People always say, turn the other cheek. If you turn the other cheek, I'm gonna hit you another cheek too.
You gotta relax, man. Cool, calm, collective, loose. Play the game of basketball, bro.
I thought, what are you doing, Charles? The
Good
guy is half your
sportsmanship.
size. But, you know, Charles was an equal opportunity abuser.
Erlander Coimbra did not think it was a friendly elbow.
That's the same guy that just asked you for an autograph, Charles. I mean, you think he's not intimidated?
I think he's act like a bullying, but maybe it's from his personality.
The United States has defeated Angola by the score of 116 to 48.
The game may have ended in a rout, but afterwards, the result was overshadowed by the controversy.
Who else with the elbow? Well, he hit me, I hit him. That's the way it is.
Charles made you look like the ugly Americans, which we were trying not to do.
Come on, man. It's a time, man. Listen. What you do and your actions don't just represent you, but your team, man. Come on.
We said to Charles, look, man, you're a reflection of all of us.
Exactly.
So if you do it, they're not going to write the article that Charles Barkley did. They're going to say the dream team.
And it's their first time with the league playing in the NBA. I mean, playing in the Olympics, and they got qualified. And this what you do? It makes them justify why they didn't want to let the NBA, the National Basketball League, be involved or participate in the Olympics in the first place.
Barkley had stained a dream debut for the Americans. But in their next game against Croatia, Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan grabbed the spotlight, with the focus on their matchup with one of Europe's best players, Tony Kukoc.
Major storyline that carries into this game involves Tony Kukoc, second-round pick of the Chicago Bulls back in 1989. The Bulls made a strong push to sign him last season.
At that time, general managers in the league were trying to come up with gems, make their discoveries overseas. And Krause thought this guy could play in the NBA.
While Jordan and Pippen had been winning back-to-back titles, Chicago GM Jerry Krause had been publicly wooing Kukoc to join the Bulls.
Krause was recruiting this guy and talking how great he was. You know, that's like a father who has all his kids and now he sees another kid that he loves more than he loves his own.
So we were not playing against Tony Kukoc. We were playing against Jerry Krause in a Croatian uniform.
But unfortunately for the real Tony Kukoc, he was now the target of the world's 2 best defensive players.
They was debating who was going to guard him. No, I got it. No, I got it.
Oh, man. So they basically want to show who's going to – they want to show you so Michael Jordan or Scottie wanted to show the basketball coach or the owner of the owner of the Bulls, which they played for, like, look, okay, this guy you looking for overseas to join our team, let's see how impactful he is compared to the impact that I make. So let me play against him. So him and Scottie Pippen I'll get what these
Looking
saying.
at Michael and Scottie, and they're ready for, like, blood. Like, man.
We knew the world was going to be watching. We knew everyone wanted to see what Tony Kukoc was like, and we were going to give him the worst experience he ever had on the basketball court.
Pippen drew the initial assignment of shadowing Kukoc and harassed the Croatian from the opening whistle.
It was hard to run across the half court without a ball. And with the ball, it was just, here, somebody else get it.
Tony definitely wasn't getting a shot up, and he wasn't going to score.
Kukoc is nothing for 4, and he...
Come on, man. You playing against defensive player I don't even know, but defensive player of the year, man. The top defensive player, Scottie Pippen, bro. He going to lock you down.
Contributed nothing.
We wanted to go guard him on the bench.
Oh, he frustrated.
And the pressure continues.
He frustrated.
And after Pippen worked,
The defensive lockdown. When you lock somebody down defensively enough, it does nothing but lead the offensive player to frustration.
down, it was Jordan's turn.
Kukoc. Stolen by Jordan. He reads it better than anyone. Slam dunk.
Them dudes were all over him.
Rejecting Kukoc. Here's a 3-on-2. Pippen.
I had questions from my teammates during the game, like, what is going on? Do you not see that they're really trying to get you off the court? And we're like, so what? I guess that's how NBA game is played.
Pippen, Jordan, and the Americans cruised to another victory. This one by 38 points. But the domination had its detractors.
This team of All-Stars is almost too good. Is it a positive or a negative?
The question was now being asked, was the Dream Team too great for its own good?
What do you mean too great for their own good? They was amazing, bro. Created history, bro.
This team of All-Stars is almost too good. Some think that we should go back to the collegians. It's been too easy.
I think then we ought to ban the African runners from the 10,000 meters.
Bro. My man always had gray hair. And I get what he's saying. He basically, the great runners, the track runners, you know, if they're too great as well. So they be banned, you know, from the Olympics. Should they not participate because they're too great? If that's the case, you know.
They make it look so easy as well. This is about our best, and this is wonderful for the sport of basketball.
Irvin, there's been some comments that the Dream Team is getting all the attention, and there seems to be some resentment about it. Have you heard about it, and do you have any feelings about it?
It's like the Beatles, where there's thousands and thousands of people waiting all the time.
That was the most exhilarating 50
So what type of headphones are those?
seconds of my life.
We're like, wow, this is amazing.
No one member of the Dream Team reveled in the Olympic experience more than Charles Barkley. After throwing the controversial elbow against Angola, Barkley had emerged as the team's most visible player.
Everybody always had the same question. How much of an ass is Charles Barkley?
Hey, Jack, when am I going to be on the cover of Sports Illustrated for this stuff? I should be on the Dream Team cover.
And then every time you'd go spend time with him, you know, you'd just realize that he was the most enjoyable act, not only in all of sports, but possibly in all of pop culture.
Sometimes I dream that he is me. I just want to be like Chuck, Mike.
Right away,
He said, I just want to be like Chuck. Charles Barkley always narrating in third person with his humor, bro.
I told my editors, I said, well, the number one angle here is what is Charles doing?
And if you wanted the answer to that question, all you had to do was follow the crowds.
They're like, we don't want you guys out and about because we don't know how safe it is. And I'm like, dude, I'm at the Olympics. I'm not going to stay in my room the whole time.
So Barkley strolled Los Ramblas, a man of the people if ever there was one.
Man, I walked up and down the Ramblas every night, and the people were fantastic. They all wanted autographs and wanted to take pictures.
We could be inside the hotel. Soon we heard the big roar. We said, there go Charles.
Wow, Charles was making that much of an impact that you heard the loudness from the hotel.
So Charles would be walking, and then thousands would be following him everywhere he went, you know. He was the Pied Piper.
That's Charles for you, man. But we'll pick up from here, family. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give this video a big thumbs up. And on that note, family, I'm going to leave out with a peace, man.